everyone, I welcome you all to this video. My name is Mayana Biharan and I am very glad that you have came to this point of Unit 4 wherein it is the last topic for this course. Before we proceed to my discussion, if you haven't seen Mr. Tindog's report, I would recommend you to watch it first because my report is the continuation of his report. Please take your time in watching his report and don't forget to come back here.
Learning outcomes. At the end of the lesson, the students will be able to value curriculum localization through making a reflection, dramatize the concept of curriculum localization, and explain the importance of curriculum localization in education.
Let me just refresh your minds as to what is curriculum localization. It is the process of defining parts of components of the curriculum at community or local or school level, normally with the involvement of local staff, stakeholders, and institutions, so as to address issues that are locally relevant and allow for more meaningful learning experiences. That is according to UNESCO 2016. So technically speaking, localization is the process of adapting and relating the content of the curriculum and the process of teaching and learning to local condition, environment, and resources. What is the importance of curriculum localization in education? It helps teachers and students comprehend concepts by relating and presenting a lesson in the context of the prevailing local environment, culture, and resources. Hence, lessons are becoming more real-life, customized, and appropriate. That is according to, again, UNESCO 2016. What is the concept of curriculum localization? The concept of localization falls on the idea that students learn best when they experience in the classroom have meanings and relevance in their lives. Things students do and associated them with the learning that lasts forever. Applying the rule for learning by doing, apply to learn, and manipulative learning is also a must in executing localization in teaching. If students were put in an actual learning environment, letting them manipulate, relate, and adapt to various learning opportunities and resources available within locality or community, profound learning will be assured and realized. It helps teachers and students comprehend concepts by relating and presenting a lesson in the context of the prevailing local environment, culture, and resources. Hence, lessons are becoming more real-life, customized, and appropriate. But we have to keep in mind that not all lessons in Araling Panlipunan, for example, because it is related to society, so it is also called social studies, can be localized. Teachers should not compromise the concept and content of the lesson just for the sake of making contextualized and localized version of it. Learning standards and competencies should always precede localization. In some instances, localization defeats the goals of the lessons due to the concepts and contents that were overly localized and resulting to mislead and overdo lesson. Nonetheless, teachers should be adaptive and creative in using localization in teaching. Such principles were made and adapted in the academe to make the curriculum response, conforms, reflects, and flexible to the needs of the learners, especially to the 21st century learners who need to be holistically and skillfully developed. Those principles were already mentioned by our previous reporters. Yes, it is true that sometimes we understand more the concepts by relating them to ideas that we can easily comprehend, appreciate, and relate in our lives. But The standards of quality and relevant education should always be considered at all times and should not be compromised just for the sake of the localized lessons. If you have watched Mr. Tindog's report, you have known the examples of the
curriculum localization.
So, let me just go further to its challenges and solutions. The localization of the curriculum can allow learning to become more meaningful and relevant. It supports policy formulation and standard setting for reform of the curriculum and the impact of these on teachers' skills and knowledge. Localization will involve the use of local materials both as the subject and object of instruction. Localization will also involve making the local culture an integral part of the curriculum. However, there are numbers of challenges in the devolution of responsibility for curricula to local levels, including lack of local technical expertise and material resources, fear of the unknown and resistance to change among teachers and local educators. These challenges are often managed through, first, developing a curriculum framework including a clear set of curriculum standards at the central level. Second, ensuring compliance with these standards in local and school-developed curriculum, either through paper-based accreditation or endorsement processes or through supervision and monitoring processes, or both. Third, providing training of local and school-based curriculum developers and ensuring clear and open communication exists between central and localized authorities. Fourth, when embarking on a process of localization, educators at all levels in an education system are required to adopt additional responsibilities, new roles, and to perform familiar tasks in different ways. The role and definition of expert is changed as the systems and individuals within it becomes learner to varying extents. It is important to acknowledge in advance that such a process will be stressful, frustrating, and at times difficult, but one hopes ultimately rewarding and positive. If the education system is seen as a learning organization and the individuals within it as learners, the role of the policymaker and implementer becomes one of the facilitating change and building capacity throughout the system. Effective localization processes demand both a clear articulation of policy and sympathetic understanding of the new demands of individuals and organization. Areas where capacity is not adequate to deal with new demands need to be identified in advance and given the full support necessary to fulfill the expectations of policymakers and of the public. Thank you so much for taking the time in watching this video. I am very happy that you have come a long way. I hope that you have learned something from this video. Have a nice day and keep moving. Bye!